Good morning or afternoon, sorry. Welcome to week 5 of Math 25. We're going to talk about saving for retirement, but first we're backing up and in the Math 20 justice topic, reviewing percent sentences, which we will use all the time in What Happens. So a percent sentence is a short word problem that includes the words is, of, what, and percent, and they can appear in any order. In the sample ones on the screen, the first one has the what at the very beginning of the sentence, then the what is in the middle, and then the what is at the end. I will also skip ahead for just a moment, and it's not useful to memorize formulas and procedures based on the placement of the what, because if we skip down a little bit, we can see that there's always ways to reword it. In English, if I say, what is 50% of 300, that's the same as asking 50% of 300 is what? And similarly for the others. So since it is possible to reword things, then it's just too much to try and memorize specific cases. We want a general procedure that always works for any of these percent sentences. Okay, back to where we were. There's two methods of solving percent sentences. The first one is the translation method, and we'll do of means multiply, is means equals, and what means why. I will grab those and put them on the whiteboard. We will use them in a moment. And then there's the proportion method, where you take the percentage and write it as a fraction, some number over 100, and then use the rest of the percent sentence to set up the other side of the proportion. So let's do an example both ways, and rather than one we've done before, then let's just grab some of these. One moment. Okay, so I should write, we're doing percent sentence review on the top. The first one, what percent of 160 is 150? We'll translate, whoops, I'm on page 2. Okay, the first one, what percent of 160 is 150? We will translate that. The what becomes the y. The percent, the word percent we don't translate, just what percent. The whole thing is our y. Of we do translate, so of becomes multiply. 160 stays a number. Is becomes equal, and then 150 stays a number. How do we solve y times something is something else? We'll do divided by whatever is stuck onto y. The opposite of times 160 is divided by 160. That will get y by itself. And what is 150 divided by 160? 0.9375. And we're not quite done. We got a nice answer. There's nothing wrong with this decimal. But now we get back to the fact that the problem said the word percent in it. Since it asks for an answer in percent format, then we need to do that. We're going to go right into percent format. And get our answer that way. We also could do $39 is what percent of $50? The numbers stay the same. Is becomes equals. What percent becomes y? Of becomes multiply. Numbers stay numbers. Again, we have something attached to our letter with multiply. The opposite is divide. The opposite of times 50 is divided by 50. If we do it to one side, we do it to the other. And whatever that number is. As before, we're going to go right into percent. That's the translate method. Questions on that one? Nope. For the proportion method, then I'm going to do first problem 1 over on this side. And we'll do problem 2 over here. So what percent of 160 is 150? We're going to have the percent be on one side. So what percent will be some unknown amount over 100? And on the other side, we're going to use the other two numbers. One thing always comes after the word of. It doesn't work in English to end a sentence with of. So whatever comes after the word of goes in the bottom. So in this case, that's the 160 comes after the word of. You might hear some people talk about is over of, but that doesn't work. And this pair of examples shows you why. Sometimes the thing after is a number, but sometimes it's the percent that goes over here. So you can't trust the is, but you can trust the of. Okay, now we have y times 160 is 150 times 100. Or you could use the shortcut if you're that kind of person. Now we're going to get that same answer, 93.75%, but there's no ripple up. We just get 93.75 doing the division and put a percent sign on. And why that works is that if we were to replace y with the 93.75, it would make sense. The fact it's a percent is because it says over 100. For the second example, again, the what percent we don't know. The thing after of this time is 50, and the other number we haven't used yet is the 39. If you like the shortcut, this is faster, but I'll do it the long way. answer will be 78. And again, it's just a 78. We put the percent on because over 100 means percent. In both of these examples, what we were missing was the percent, but that of course won't always be true. We could be missing this number or that number, depending on how things were phrased.